I made a decision very early on in my career that the two things I will go for when I'm asked to do a role is I will look for the truth, and I will tell that truth with as much compassion and empathy as I can.
Tributes continue to pour in tonight for actor Michael K. Williams, who died yesterday of a suspected drug overdose at the age of 54. The five-time Emmy nominee was best known for his roles in shows like The Wire and Boardwalk Empire. But when he wasn't on the big screen, the Brooklyn native was dedicated to helping city kids. Lisa Evers joins us now to tell us how he used his celebrity to make his community better. Lisa.
Well, Chris, Michael K. Williams will always be remembered as Omar Little from The Wire and for his other unforgettable performances. But it's just as important to acknowledge his deep-rooted commitment to communities often left out of the equity equation and the great lengths he went to help others.
This is a community, good, bad, and ugly. You got good and bad in every community. Don't make our community out to only be the bad.
This was Michael K. Williams speaking about peace in Brownsville with a nonprofit organization he co-founded called We Build the Block.
Yes, I think it's important that people understand that Michael was not a celebrity spokesperson. That was not his role.
Racklin says the group focused on reimagining policing, voter registration, and urgent needs like food and jobs. The late actor, who the kids called Uncle Mike, was at the center of it all, strategizing, motivating, using his own money and fundraising to come up with $85,000 last summer to give 45 young people jobs.
There were many times that we were exhausted and felt a lot of hopelessness. I was on the phone with a young person earlier today, and she said, he made us all feel hopeful all the time, like we couldn't give up.
Rough Rider CEO Joaquin Wadeen did what may be the last interview Michael K. Williams ever did for his upcoming Rough Roads podcast. They even prayed together.
He had emotional moments where he cried. He was expressing himself to the good, bad, and ugly. He was telling us his story about all what he was going through.
Here's a never-before-seen clip from the Rough Roads podcast.
But the movement is called We Build the Block. That's the movement.
Now, Williams was open about his substance abuse issues in interviews and spoke about them with Dean. But no matter what, his example of love for all people and caring about others will have a lasting impact on all the lives he touched. Chris?
All right, Lisa, thank you.
Hollywood mourns the tragic and untimely death of actor Michael K. Williams. Hi, and welcome to Extra. I'm Billy Bush. Williams, who was best known for The Wire and Boardwalk Empire, candidly shared his private struggles and even contemplated how his own story might end.
You only open this door, man, for Huff and Puff.
He was the man with the unmistakable voice who played unforgettable roles, from Omar
I ain't tossing nothing. Whole time.
to Chalky White.
Everywhere, you just here.
Found dead in his Brooklyn penthouse apartment, Michael was only days away from a possible Emmy win for Lovecraft Country.
I'm still your
He was in great spirits when Rachel talked with him just 2 months ago at the BET Awards. Michael performed Slippin', part of the show's tribute to rapper DMX, who died from a drug-induced heart attack.
I said I'm slipping, I'm falling, I got to get up.
It speaks to my personal struggle as a human being, as a man growing up in Brooklyn.
Now authorities are investigating whether Michael overdosed on heroin. Drugs and paraphernalia were found in his apartment, and TMZ reports cops are on the hunt for his alleged drug dealer.
You guys know him as the actor, we know him as Uncle Mike, and we love him.
Michael's nephew, R. Vance Williams, spoke with reporters.
He just got nominated for an Emmy, and he was going to LA, so he was really excited about that. It's heartbreaking.
Shortly after Kobe Bryant's death, Michael wrote on Instagram, "I've been thinking about my own mortality lately. It all has me wondering, how will I go? Will I die alone?" His final social media post was a now haunting video from Tracy Morgan shortly after his near-fatal accident.
I'm glad I'm misfortunate accident. Don't cry for me. Cry for others, man.
And last year, he broke down in tears, talking about his latest role in Lovecraft Country.
Lovecraft Country took me on an emotional and mental roller coaster that I was not prepared for personally. And thank God I had the cast and these amazing angels around me to hold me up.
His co-stars were comforting him in the SAG-AFTRA roundtable.
It's all right.
It's okay, Michael.
All right.
It's okay, Michael.
In February, Michael told Tamron Hall he'd entered treatment shortly after filming his role as an abusive alcoholic father ended.
A lot of people often think that when a person puts down the drug or the alcohol, that all the problems go away. That couldn't be further from the truth. Drugs and alcohol are not the problem. They're merely symptoms of the problem. And once those things go away, the real work begins.
Michael had struggled with addiction for years and received his famous scar in a fight when he was 25 years old.
My pain, I've survived what I've survived so I can tell my story and be a blessing to someone else's life.
He opened up with Vanity Fair about meeting with Ava DuVernay, who directed him in When They See Us before he took the role.
She goes, so, heard you was a bit of a loose cannon. You okay? What's going on? I knew exactly what she was talking about. And I also knew that I would lose if I lied to her. That would hurt me if I did not come clean. And so I did.
Ava paid tribute to Michael on Instagram, saying, "You were a flash of love, now gone, but never forgotten."